Dear Sally, help, I'm going crazy. My 2 teen daughters are completely out of control, and I'm ready to kick them out of the house. I need to talk to you. I have nowhere else to turn.
Dear Sally, I watch you every day, and I feel like I know you. I really need your help, Sally. I have nowhere else to turn. My family life is in complete turmoil. No one else seems to get along, and I'm at my wit's end.
Dear Sally, hello. I'm a big fan of yours and watch your show every day. My name is Rebecca Randall. Your shows have touched my heart, made me laugh, made me think, and sometimes even made me cry.
Dear Sally, I have watched you for years. I love your show, and I love you. Please, please, I need your help. I feel like no one understands me. My husband treats me terribly, and I don't know how much more I can take.
How do you think I feel? No, you know, the letters really touch my heart. Every day we receive a ton of mail from viewers just like you. And believe it or not, we make the effort to make sure each and every letter gets read. The ones that seem to touch our hearts are the ones from viewers who need our help. Well, today we decided to give it a try. We're going to try something new. We wanted to reach out to some of our viewers who are in pain. I think these stories may shock you, but our hearts truly went out to them. So today we're going to do our best to get them the help they say they so desperately need. And that's where you come in. Just hold still, okay? My first guest is 13-year-old Eric. Before I bring him out, he's somewhere where he cannot hear what we're doing right now. I want to read you a portion of a letter that his mother wrote to me. And I want you to know that in all my years, I have never been so disturbed by any other letter. Listen to this. Dear Sally, I watch your show all the time, and I have a certain sense about you. I would like you to take over raising my 13-year-old son. He's a beautiful, good boy, and handsome, too. He really needs to be with someone who can cope in this world and relate to people. He also deserves opportunities which I cannot provide for him. I have no self-esteem. I'm a loser and very suicidal. This, I believe, is not good for him to be around. I have been depressed for 8 years. My last suicide attempt was 2 years ago, and another was a year before that. I feel I can't hang in there much longer. Please give my son a proper home. I hope that I don't try to play God on my show, and having read Rhonda's letter, you could just feel the pain she was in. So we said we've got to do everything in our power to try and help her and her son Eric. And we brought them here to try and get some sort of resolution. So let's bring Eric out now. Eric, come on out. Come on, Eric. Come sit down right here. Wanted to talk to you for just a minute before your mom comes out. Do you know why your mom wrote to us?
Yeah.
Is she a good mom?
Yeah, she's good. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think maybe we could help Mom? I mean, if I really tried hard, I'm not a Power Ranger, but maybe I could help.
Yeah, you could probably help her.
Does Mom cry a lot?
Yeah.
How's that make you feel?
Ashamed and like it's my fault or something like that.
But you know it isn't, don't you?
No, it's not my fault.
Good. I'm glad you know that. Why don't you go back to the green room with Nikki, and we're going to bring Mom out, and I want to thank you very much for talking to me, okay?
Okay.
There you go. Rhonda, why don't you come out? Come and sit down here. Thank you very much for coming to be with us today. You're not going to cry now, are you?
I don't know. I cry easily.
I just think that it's a wonderful thing to know that somebody would want me to help take care of Eric.
Well, I think you qualify.
Okay, but
I mean, I
have to tell you
requirements for that.
That I am not the one that needs to be raising your son. You are. Because you're his mom, and he needs you in his life. Now, you heard what Eric was saying to me. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I don't know. I just don't think I'm a very good influence, and I would like him to have a better home, with more opportunity, someone who's more upbeat and can socialize, and I don't think he has any examples of love there.
You've tried to commit suicide how many times?
Well, it's been 4 now. And then I hate failing at that all the time, too. That makes me feel really bad because I feel like I can't succeed at even that.
Does Eric
And
know?
I've tried real hard, too. I mean, I've saved up pills and stuff like that. And
Does Eric know about this?
I don't think he really knows that I've attempted suicide. I mean, I'm not explaining that I want to kill myself. It's just that I have taken these pills and then I've ended up in the hospital, and he knows I was ill or that I damaged myself in some way, like hurt my heart or liver or something from doing that. But I don't know that he knows that I really seek death that much.
Would you sit here and would you allow me to go and would you allow us to talk to you? Go ahead.
You're a beautiful person. And as a mother, I really feel for you. Okay, committing suicide is not the way. And as a mother myself, I have a handicapped daughter that has Down syndrome. And I thought it was the worst thing in the world. But God answers prayers. Your son needs you more than anything in the world. And if you think it's hard, just sit down sometime and pray to God, and he will help you. But your son will not get any help if your family doesn't care about you. What is your son going to do? He needs you. And from what we've seen of him, he's a very handsome boy, an intelligent one. But he needs his mother. I do everything that I can for my daughter, and I tell her there's nothing in this world that she cannot do. And trust me, she does everything she can to prove to everyone that she can do better than some people give her credit for.
Do you think she should commit suicide because she has a child with Down syndrome?
No, she doesn't want to, though. There's a difference.
Okay. Rhonda, I want you to meet Jane Donnelly. Come on out. Jane is the executive director of Helpline. It is a suicide prevention hotline. She is a therapist. Jane, talk to me about Rhonda. What can we do to try and help her see that suicide really isn't an answer?
Well, I think one of the things that we can see by you being here today is that you are reaching out and breaking the isolation in which you live. And that's a suicidal pain and a depression like you are living with is something we don't know about. Most of us don't know about. 8 years you've been living with this and living through this. I do want to say that there's only one mom in the whole world, and you're it for Eric. And apparently Eric is very bonded to you, and you're very important to him. In a way, maybe he's keeping you alive.
Well, he is, yeah. I mean, it's sometimes I thought about waiting until he was 18 and then checking it. And,
18-year-olds don't need their parents, huh?
No, he's an adult. He can legally make decisions and stuff like that.
Oh, my dear. If they were grown up at 18. Rhonda, we are going to keep in touch with you. Would you go back and make sure that nothing happens to you and to Eric? Would you go back and talk to Jane?
Would you?
Would you?
Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Would you?
Good. I came here for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
No, you can just sit there. That's all right.
Good.
I want you to meet my next guest, Sue. Sue says that she was married to a very controlling and very abusive husband, the kind we've done shows about, for 3 years. Right?
Right.
You want to tell us what that relationship was like?
I married him 3 years ago. I knew him in high school. I dated him in high school. I left for like 10 years and ended up getting back with the guy. He had been previously married, and the relationship didn't work. I didn't know that he was abusive at all. 3 weeks after we were married, he was trying to choke me and abuse me. And it just went on, and it never stopped. He got help. It didn't work. He didn't want to change, so the counseling that he went to didn't do any good.
What did he do to you?
I'd be home sleeping that night, and he'd come in and beat me after he'd been in a bar drinking, and verbally and physically, mentally, everything. It was all the time, every night. I worried if he came home, would he hurt me? Is he going to beat me? Am I going to be alive tomorrow?
So the self-esteem level is where? Somewhere down around?
It's really low, yeah. I mean, I'm afraid to even have a conversation, or I'm screwing the person that I'm talking with, or, you know, I'm accused of stuff that I don't even do, basically.
Okay. Now, when did you get up the nerve to leave him?
I've only been away from him for 3 weeks this time.
Okay. Do you think you can stay away from him?
That's my goal.
Okay. Now, you wrote us asking for help. Can you read us a portion of the letter?
Yeah. Before I was married, I was happy, outgoing, and loved life. Now my life has done a 90-degree turnaround. I'm unhappy, scared, lonely, and my self-esteem is shot. I've been belittled so much in the last few years I can't do anything right. I've always wanted to be a wife, but when you get physically beat and mentally, it's really hard to be a good wife. I was limited to what I could wear, who I could talk to, and where I could work. I've lost friends and loved ones because I proceeded to help the man and try again. My motivation and self-esteem is gone. I'm afraid to sleep at night. My self-esteem is so low that I think I can't be a normal person again. I feel like I'm a rundown, worrisome, wrinkled, from stress woman. I hope that someone can help me and make me change my life. And I feel I don't know, if I can get the right direction, that's where I want to go. So
we really want you to get back on your feet again. I brought someone along to give you the best makeover possible. Richard, where are you, hon? This is, wave to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. This is Richard Penna, and Richard is my personal makeup and hairstylist.
Pretty
and
lady.
Isn't she pretty? And I guarantee he gives the best makeover, so you go off with Richard. Go ahead. We're going to see you at the end of the show. Then we have to talk about the other stuff, because the self-esteem starts with how you look, maybe, and then it goes into something deeper. When we come back, this woman says she cries herself to sleep every night, and you won't believe why. I think it's another proof that people can be pretty cruel. Later, this high school football star needs your help in order to save his life. And then we're going to see Sue's makeover. Stay with us. I don't know if we can, but then you can't say that unless you've tried, right? And then when you try, whatever happens, happens. We're going to reach out today to viewers like you that need help for one reason or another. This is Barbara. Barbara's letter and heartfelt cry for help moved our producer so much, we knew we just had to do something. Barbara suffers from a condition called hirsutism. What exactly is hirsutism?
Okay, it's really pronounced hirsutism.
Hirsutism.
And what that is an excessive growth of hair of abnormal distribution. In other words, I grow a beard and a mustache, a connecting beard and a mustache, and it has been the insult of my life. You know, I have people talking to me, asking me, did I used to be a man? Have I had a sex change? I have had bisexual women follow me in the bathroom. You know, I've had men that were not straight, maybe think that I was a man not straight, and approach me.
Is the hair all over the body, the excess hair, or is it just here?
It's in various places on my body, but, you know, I shave the whole body.
You shave your whole body. How often do you have to shave, Barbara?
Every 36 hours, every day.
Did you go to a doctor, and what did the doctor tell you?
I've been to several doctors in Dallas, and they all basically tell me that there's nothing that they can do. And my main problem is I don't understand how is it that a doctor can make a man who wants to be a woman look like a woman, but he can't take a woman who looks like a man and make her look like a woman.
You don't look like a man.
But in my eyes, I do. In my eyes, when I look in the mirror in the morning, I see my twin brother staring back at me. I mean, it's full. I can grow a full beard, you know. And
they say there's no help.
I've tried everything. I've had electrolysis. I've had a small dosage steroid. I've waxed. I've shaved. I've used a depilatory cream like a Nair or a Neat or something like that, and sometimes it'll actually peel the skin off my face. It's very depressing. I'm a person who wants to be all that I can be, you know, and I always try to become all that I am capable of being, but it limits me, you know. I can't. I mean, who's gonna hire me for a model? Calvin Klein, CK Cologne for him or for her, you know. I mean, you know, it limits my opportunities. It does, and it's an insult. It's really an insult, and I feel like it's a curse, you know, and I can't. It's very hard for me to. I don't want to go through my life like this another day.
How old are you now?
I'm 33 years old.
And you've been going through this since you were?
16 years old.
We have someone here that wanted to meet you. Dr. Grossman, come on out. Hello, Dr. Grossman.
Hi.
This is Dr. Melanie Grossman.
Hi, nice to meet you.
What kind of doctor are you?
I'm a dermatologist, and I specialize in lasers, and I have an interest in hirsutism, and I've been working on several projects, actually, I think you'd be interested in.
Can you tell Barbara why? Are there a lot of people who have this condition?
There are many, many people who have this condition, and that was the reason that I became interested in this. As a female dermatologist, many of them came to see me.
Now, you're working on a special project. Can you tell us what it is?
Yes. While I was at Mass General Hospital in the past 2 years, I worked with a man named Dr. Rox Anderson, and we worked on 2 different types of ways to use lasers to remove hair. And a laser is a bright light, and this laser could be shown in the skin and can destroy a hair follicle. And we have been doing several research projects. They're still pretty preliminary, but it's very, very encouraging.
Is it? So that could it destroy them permanently?
We believe that there is potential for that to happen. We have followed patients now for 3 to 6 months after the treatment, so it's still early. I don't want to make any promises, but we believe it's very hopeful.
So what would you say Barbara's chances are to have the life she dreams of?
Well, in the next few years, I believe that this will be something that will be available. I would be very interested in speaking to you more about it, if that's possible.
Sure. Would you be willing to
yes.
try something like this
anything.
out?
I'm desperate.
We're not making any promises, but hopefully you and Dr. Grossman can work things out. What do you think?
That'll be great.
Good idea?
Oh, yeah. I would love that.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Coming up later, how did our show help this former Sally guest? You're going to find out. And next, we're going to meet a 12-year-old girl who is going to plead for her father's love and affection. Plus, don't forget Sue's makeover results. Stay with us. The letters we receive come from, well, people of all ages, all backgrounds, all conditions, all kinds of problems. My next guest is no exception. This is 12-year-old Lindsay, and this is her mother, Marcia. Lindsay wrote us a letter because she wants to try and build a relationship with her father, whom she has never met. Is that right?
Yes.
Lindsay, read part of your letter.
Dear Sally, my name is Lindsay and I'm 12 years old. I am writing to you because I want to meet my dad. I think it's sad because he has other kids and they don't know about me. I practically know his whole family except him, his 6 children and his wife. I already know I'm not going to be a big part of his life, but I think I should at least meet him and his children. Thank you for your help. Sincerely, Lindsay.
Okay. Marcia, help us to understand what's going on. Now, what happened between you and Lindsay's father 12 years ago?
12 years ago, he and his wife were split up. She was living in Texas and he in Ohio. Him and I got together, had a little thing going on. He told me that he had told his wife, who was still in Texas, that he wanted a divorce. Him and I planned to have Lindsay. She was not a mistake. She was a very, very planned child. He called his wife, said he wanted to come and get his 2 children that he already had for the summer. That was fine. So him and his brother left. They went to Texas to get the children. While he was gone, I found out I was pregnant, called him and let him know. He was very excited. When he got back, he had his children with him, and he also had his wife.
Has he ever paid child support?
He has paid child support regularly for several years. It is sent to us monthly. It comes like clockwork. That child support means absolutely nothing to Lindsay. Does not form a body to stand in front of her and say, I am your father.
Right. Lindsay, how does it make you feel knowing that your dad doesn't want to see you?
It makes me feel left out.
Do we assume we're right that he doesn't want to see her? Well, if she's been here all these years,
right.
You know, he would. Makes you feel left out. What would you say to your father?
If he's listening or if he's watching.
Well, that's why you asked us to come here today, to try and talk to him.
I want him to come see me so he can know who I am.
I love you, baby.
Marcia, how do you feel about what Lindsay is going through? I mean,
I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. My father died when I was 3 years old. I have a brother and sister. We went through this all of our life. We didn't have a choice. We could not know our father. I am 37 years old today, and I still wish, and I wonder what would my life have been like if I would have known my father. I have a beautiful child here. She does excellent in school. She has a lot of friends. This child turned my life around. Her and her little sister. She has made me be what I am today. I'm a very strong woman, and I'm very angry that this man could go and have 4 more children and forget about this beautiful living being right here.
Okay, Lindsay, we will do our best. We hope that somebody watching now will get to him. And if Rick, here's what I want them to tell him. I want them to tell Rick that I think the time has come to act like a man, to admit that this is his child, to stand up and at least let her see what he's like, and to have a long conversation with her. She doesn't mean to be part of your life on a permanent basis, but I think that's the way it should be done. I'll do my best. Okay? Coming up. This woman says asking for our help was one of the best things she's done, and later Sue's makeover results. You don't want to miss this.
You are the Five. Get off my stage.
Welcome back. One of the best things about my job is being able to reach out to people, viewers like you, who are in need of help, and that's what we're doing today. I thought you'd like to meet 18-year-old Luke and his father, Ish. 4 short months ago, Luke was diagnosed with a rare type of liver cancer, and he is waiting for a liver transplant. Luke, we want you to start from the beginning. When did you first get sick?
Well, 2 years ago, really. I knew there was something wrong, but didn't know that it was this serious.
What did they think it was? I know you lost about 25 to 30 pounds and you became ill, and they thought it was mono, huh?
Yeah, they thought it was mono. They thought it was allergies. They weren't really sure, I don't think.
Okay. And what happened? You just graduated.
Yeah, I graduated in last spring, and I started the college this fall, and I had to drop out because I was diagnosed with liver cancer October 4th.
Liver cancer. Now, you're a football player?
No, I played high school football.
Okay. What was your initial reaction?
Well, upset at first, but then you just got to turn around and be strong, get through it.
Okay. How are you going to get through it? In other words, what do you need? Explain to us about transplants and how that works.
Well, the main part is I think I can handle the transplant. I mean, I think I'm strong enough to handle it, but financially
it's a problem.
The problem.
Okay. Now, transplants are on a national list, are they not?
Correct. And
Luke is a status 3. Then there's a status 2, and then there's a status 1. I think it's important that people learn this.
The need of organs has far surpassed the understanding of organ donations or awareness.
So we need to make people aware, which is what I hope we just did.
Yes.
Now, do you come from a small town?
Yes.
Now, how have the people in the town been? What have they done? Because I think it's nice to say, what's the name of the town?
Greenwich, Ohio.
Greenwich, Ohio.
They've been incredible.
What have they done?
Everybody has done everything that they can for me. It's been really, really nice.
Okay. Have they tried to raise money?
Oh, yes.
What does this operation cost?
Well, if everything goes well, no complications, $300,000.
This is a country that doesn't think it needs national health, right? So things can cost $300,000. Think of that next time you go to the polls. How much insurance do you have?
When we were, faced with the situation, we were projected that this would run with the cancer treatment. Luke also has chronic hepatitis with the tumor in his liver. With the cancer procedure, the transplant procedure, if everything goes well, we were projected a figure of $300,000 to $400,000. With the limited insurance that we had in place, to cover the shortfall, we needed to cover a minimum of $300,000.
Wow. Now, Luke's treatment is chemo once a week, chemotherapy once a week. How are you doing?
Well, it's a light dosage, so my hair hasn't fell out and it doesn't make me real sick. So
his attitude has been
terrific. How is Dad and Mom taking this?
Well, it's tough. We are a very close family, and I might mention Luke's mother, Marilyn. She is a beautiful, she's been terrific. She's been a very beautiful mother and wife through all this. But Luke has been an inspiration to so many people with what he's going through. And we have not heard one word of complaint from him. And he has spoke on TV as an encouragement to other people doing this. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but with his desire to see a foundation set up in his name to help other people facing similar crisis with monies raised not used for his funding, needless to say that we had to make a vow that we would help fulfill that dream.
So the people in the town have been going out and they've been having tag sales and bake sales and collecting cans and things. So if you would like to help, did we put an address up there? Yes? Okay. We wish you the very best in the next few months, and take a look at that address, and if you can, please, we'd like you to help us and think about becoming an organ donor also, because that would be very helpful. You may remember my next guest, Arlene. Arlene and her son, Michael, appeared on a show we did on family obesity, and they came asking for help in their fight Unfortunately, Michael passed away in March of 1992. Arlene came to the show several weeks after Michael's death, and this is a clip from that show in April of 1992.
I'm here, Sally, today because Michael's dream, and you know this, you never met him, basically, but his dream was that he always wanted to come down to the show, and you invited him.
I did.
And I know he's here with me now. It's hard to believe, but he'd want me to do this, and I'm going to carry on his legacy.
Now that Michael is not with us and you're alone, you really have to take care of yourself.
That's what he'd want. I
It really
always used to
was.
say, Sally, next week, and as soon as you can walk, and as soon as you can come and visit me, I'll take care of my operation, and I'll go, and I'll go. And you make excuses as a mother because
Are you
your
going
son
to have
needs
the
you.
operation?
Definitely.
You are going to take care of yourself?
Yes, definitely.
Well, Arlene, that was 4 years ago. What did you weigh at that time?
Oh, I don't know, Sally. I was up there quite a bit, close to 800, I would say.
800 pounds.
I don't know if you remember, but...
Oh, I do.
They had to put a skirt around me. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I just forgot, but I have pants to show you. I don't know if somebody can bring it here a minute.
Oh, that would be fun. All right.
And in fact, it would be so much fun, Sally. I wore them on your show 4 years ago. The same pants.
What happened after you left us?
Well, you gave me the inspiration, and I got on the phone. I called all my doctors and anybody I could call, and I said, I want to walk, and I want to live again in the name of my son. And his doctor, St. Luke's Roosevelt, took me in hand, and I had an operation that was an outside operation, and they cut off 105 pounds of flab.
Whoa.
That's through to you, Sally.
And no, that's you. And the rest of it was diet? Have you been dieting?
No, I'm not on a diet. I have a new way of living.
Uh-huh.
And what I have learned in life is food is not my life any longer.
Let's see those pants.
You really want to see them, huh?
Yeah, I really want to see those pants.
They're clean.
Okay, I
They're
knew
pressed, and they're very large.
Whoa.
And Maddie, hairdresser, remember,
Yeah.
I see those pants.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So you're doing pretty well for yourself,
I'm
young
doing
lady.
well for myself, and not only that, Sally, I want to help people in crisis. This is an epidemic. Obesity is a terrible disease, and I think if I knew then what I knew now, maybe my son would be alive today.
So you have been helping people?
Oh, yes. In fact, Linda is right next to you.
Right. Has she turned her life around?
I certainly have. When I met Arlene in March, I was 353 pounds, was very discouraged with life, and since March, I've lost 126 pounds on my program.
Wow! Like a new woman, right? And then you know what you do? You pass it on to the
Well,
next.
You know what happened, Sally? Linda now is my partner. I say partner in crime, but
Right.
it's not really. And we help people together now, because I
See?
couldn't do it myself without her either.
Why do people reach out for help? Why do they try to reach a talk show? Could you possibly help out viewers? Plus, let's talk about Sue's makeover. God bless you. I'm going to see you both 50 pounds from now. We'll be right back. Please welcome one of our favorite experts back to the show. I haven't seen you in a while. This is Dr. Dale Atkins. Dale is the co-editor of the book From the Heart. You've been with us so many times before on different subjects.
Yes.
Today's show, I think, is a little different. The viewers have never met me, anyone on our staff. The audience is the people that just happen to walk in. why is it easier for people to reach out for help to total strangers?
You know, Sally, I think that you're not a total stranger to a lot of people.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. I think that people feel very connected to you. And you're in their homes every day. You don't know that, but you're in their homes every day.
No, I do figure that people say to me, you're in the bathroom or something. It begins to completely confuse me.
I think that there are several aspects to it. One is that people feel very close to you and feel that you really are empathetic and that you take a very strong interest in the people who you have on your show. And I think that that comes across. So although you are a stranger, you're not perceived as a stranger. And I think that many people have been helped on your show, and they feel that, gee, you have access to so many millions of people. Maybe someone will be able to help me. Maybe there's someone who I can identify with who will have an experience like mine, who will give me something that will give me hope, who will give me information, will give me an alternative way of looking at my problem. So I think that's what happens in this whole world of asking people for help who you don't really know. The other issue, I think, has to do with that we live in a society that is so busy. People are so involved with themselves and so involved with their work, and a lot of people don't take the time to talk to one another.
That's right.
And to sit down and to listen and to pay attention and to give the kind of support that every single person who's here and every person who writes you those hundreds and thousands of letters is looking for. So I think there's a way to reach out and a way to feel like I want to help somebody and I know maybe you can help me.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Sally. This is for Barbara. Me and my brother own a company. It's called Sweet Justice Enterprises Incorporated, and we have models, actors, dancers, etc. And Saturday we have a photo shoot for a calendar, and it would be an honor to have a gorgeous woman like you come and model for my calendar.
You have to say yes.
Yes, I would be honored.
Yes, she says she would be honored. Thank you. And he stood there for goodness knows how long. Stand up.
I've got a comment and a question for Rhonda, and your therapist can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like people feel the most hopeless and helpless when you feel like you can no longer control what happens to you, as in the nasty people who make comments and all that.
I'm not even safe at home.
Well, one of the things that it's taken me the longest to figure out is that I am in control of what happens to me, simply by virtue of the fact that if what's being said to me is not something is good for me, I have the ability to remove myself from that situation, even if it means saying, stop the car, I'm gonna get out. I'll get out of the car right here on the highway and hike 2 miles. Oh, yeah. Now, when it comes to your town, you may be able to move someplace else and find out that there's a lot nicer people than what you've encountered in your town. And to help you do that, my question was, have you ever gotten any kind of counseling or considered getting any kind of therapy just as a support?
Oh, I've been in for 8 years. I go regularly. Yeah, I mean, when I first started feeling in pain and really bad, I knew I needed help, and I went. And then I went to this therapy for 2 years, and nothing changed. So that's when I went home, made my first suicide attempt.
You just
walked home from one of his sessions and just took all the pills I'd saved for 5 years and hoped they would do their job. And I even drank alcohol with them. For some reason, my body death kicks me back into the world where I don't want to be.
There's got to be a reason for you to be back in the world.
You commented that nobody would like to know you, and I'm telling you that you are the most intelligent sounding person I have met in days, much less on the talk show, and I'd love to get to know you.
Great. We'll take a break.
36 years ago.
You are the Five. Get off my stage.
Welcome back. This is Cynthia Raphael Rickman, my fashion stylist, and Richard Penna, who does my hair and makeup. And nobody has ever been luckier than I am to have these two great people in my life. This is the moment we've been waiting for. I want to take a look at Sue when she came in this morning, so let's take a look at her. There she is. Richard, How does she look now?
Absolutely beautiful.
Does she?
Absolutely.
Did you work your magic?
All I did was put a new icing on an already beautiful cake.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Sue, come on out. That's unbelievable. Whoa. Amazing. Listen, we didn't tell you guys to wolf whistle, do we? No, they did it on their own. I can get male testimony. Richard, what did you do with her hair first?
You know, I cut it a little bit. I straightened it out a little bit. We had a wonderful talk. She knows what she has to do with her life. Her hair is just the beginning of a lot of changes that are going to happen. She's an incredibly bright woman.
What kind of haircut is that? What's that
This
called?
is a modified shag, kind of a 90s shag. You know, it's pretty. She's so pretty. I mean, I could have done anything.
And
we almost
makeup?
did a very, very short haircut, but that'll be for the updated show.
We'll do the update. Cynthia, what about that beautiful suit she's wearing?
Oh, Sally, I tell you, it goes beyond the clothes with this lady. She wanted to cover up her body. That husband of hers didn't want any attention drawn to this woman. Look at her body. We brought her body out and given her some shape with this lovely suit. And, Susan, you don't know this, but you're going to keep this suit. This is for you. Oh, God. And the jewelry and everything. And Sally,
You told me she was job hunting?
Yeah, she's
she
job
go out
hunting.
and go job hunting.
Yeah, she's got her interview suit, ladies and gentlemen.
There you
so
go.
there you go.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. First thing we're going to do is find out what happens with Rhonda. Maybe 6 months, Jane? Do you think she needs 6 months about? Okay. And then we're going to see if Sue ever got a job. Barbara, we're going to find out if Dr. Grossman, if her new plan works, and we're going to see you on a calendar, thanks to this nice man. Lindsay, we'll do our best to track down your father for 2 or 3 hours. And Luke, we'll see if we can't raise some money and help out. And Arlene, well, you're just going to be with us forever, I think. Thank you, Dale, Dr. Dale. See you all next time.
Some members of our audience will receive, and a promotional fee has been provided by